Electric jumper jet. It's a sport gear that lets you jump high, about 5 to 6 meters, and land safely. At its core is the yet-to-be-invented surge battery, which provides short bursts of high-intensity current to drive those high-speed propellers. This is one of those ideas. I mean, sure, it does look fascinating, but there are a lot of question marks around it. I think it will take about 10 years before you can get one of these. Ideas, ideas, ideas. Ideas worth spreading. That's what reads below the TED logo, which notifies that, you know what? Some ideas are just not worth spreading. Some ideas are just dumb. And I'm not talking about the Batman Snuggie and the pet rock, because those sold millions, people, millions. Those are two brilliant ideas right there. I'm talking about legit engineering or business ideas that will never see the light of the day. We all have a lot of them. Especially us engineers at MIT have too many of them. Piles of ideas that will be forgotten. Coming from academia, I can tell you that only about 10% of the ideas will be published in the form of a paper in academia. Only 1% will be patented. And only about 0.1% will actually become a business and do some good out there. Now, these are rough numbers, but if you ask any academic or innovator, he or she will probably agree with me. This means that only 1 in 1,000 ideas will actually do some good out there, which is an insanely low yield. It takes about 10 to 15 years to publish 100 papers in academia or come up with 1,000 ideas, even in top schools. So why is this happening? Why is it that 90% of ideas just go nowhere? Well, you may say because some ideas are dumb. Remember the Batman Snuggie and the pet rock? Which is a fair answer, but in fact, a very subjective one. These two examples show that an idea that might be considered ridiculous and useless from one's perspective might actually be interesting and successful from others' perspective. Plus, even if half of these ideas were not working and just plain wrong, you still have 45% of good ideas that for some reason don't make it out there. You want to know why? The majority of ideas actually don't make it out there because we don't put them out there. The problem is not just with the ideas, but also with us innovators. We tend to abandon our ideas because we don't have enough confidence in them, or we don't have immediate interest, or we tend to possess them and lock them up because we think they are too precious. And there's no other options, really. I mean, academic publications are too time-consuming and extremely narrow for these types of ideas, and patenting is expensive. So I turned to using online platforms. I tried using blogs, YouTube, TEDx talks, and none of them worked as efficiently as I wanted to. All these platforms takes a lot of production, a lot of cameras and gears and all these lights and people behind the scene to convey to you a single idea. And this heavy production actually puts a lot of pressure on the ideator. So I was losing hope on this. I mean, I have a busy job, and I couldn't afford to spend this much time on each idea. Until one night, as I was going through my older idea sketchbooks, I saw this design from 1999, which was an apparatus that was supposed to let me see my Game Boy Color screen in 3D. This was basically my earliest version of virtual reality headset at the age of 16, which, by the way, wouldn't work because there was no parallax in the scene. But the fact that I could look at this one picture and understand an idea from 17 years ago just hit me. I was like, a picture is worth 1,000 words. What if it could fit every idea into one picture, one beautiful, comprehensive sketch that says it all? Sounded like a great idea. So I started to build up my sketching skills over the weekends. And thanks to online tutorials, I went from something like this to something like this in about a year. Then I started to get connected to other concept artists online. And I discovered this amazing platform called Computer Graphics Society, or CG Society. which is an online platform that allows millions of artists to share their illustrations with each other in high resolutions. This is a great website for artistic studies. It's full of cool pictures of aliens and robots, but there's not much science going on here, really. And that's exactly what I want to change. Together with CG Society, we basically want to bring the brains of MIT to the hands of Marvel Studio artists. How cool is that? The result is what we call the Imaginarium of Technology, a platform that matches scientists with artists to communicate ideas in beautiful pictures, a place where engineering ideas can come to life and inspire. You can upload your idea in the form of an illustration, if your illustrating is good, or if you can describe it to an artist to illustrate it. These ideas are tagged and organized into this gallery of sketches. So if you're interested in any of them, you can just click on it and learn about the idea, or even start a conversation with the creator. Some of these ideas are published online immediately. The others are cherry-picked by a panel of artists and scientists from Marvel Studios and MIT. These cherry-picked ideas are then showcased in events such as this one, or MIT Members Week, where there are a lot of companies present. This gives these poor ideas the chance to reach the right audience. Every idea is tagged, so it has a unique ID, so whoever is interested can directly contact the creator and endorse the idea or support the idea based on a mutual agreement. So far, we have had 3 exhibitions on different topics, such as future of virtual reality and autonomous cars. And these idea exhibitions have been received amazingly well, because pictures are powerful, and they can go beyond language barrier even. Yes, if you're a company and you have IP-sensitive materials, or if you have conflict of interest, then this might not be the right platform for you. But if you're a creative individual trying to impact the world by resurrecting some of your other ideas, let me assure you that this is the best place to put those kind of ideas into some use. Okay, I've been talking about 10 minutes now to convey to you one idea of the Imaginarium of Technology in the TED format. I will take now 1 minute to give you 2 ideas in the form of 2 pictures. 2 pictures that can make an impact and potentially save lives. Are you ready for this? Yes. Okay. So here's the infinity ladder. It's a rollable ladder that is stretched by a set of drones. The drones fly up to the wall and latch onto the top of the wall, and then you can climb up this stretched ladder, the stretched ladder. The tagline reads, "No walls can ever stop humans again." It can't. It doesn't work. It doesn't work that way, guys. Just simple engineering. So here is another idea. It's a centimeter-sized microbot. It's a centimeter-sized robotic pill that lives in your stomach and is charged wirelessly. Some futurists predict that we will have microbots injected to our bloodstream in the future, but being an engineer, I think that's far-fetched. I think this is a more practical solution. So these robotic pills will stay in your stomach and monitor your diet, and they will filter out all the excessive toxins and things like fat and sugar that is in there. So in the future, you can feel less guilty about your junk food diet. The tagline reads, "Every diet is perfect." Okay, so I cannot suddenly quit my job and follow all of these random ideas. I think you get the point now, right? But I hope someone somewhere follows these ideas and work on them. Okay, 1 minute, people. How are you liking this? All right. I want to thank everyone who jumped on board with me and made this possible. This is really a call to my fellow scientists and artists. Let us come together and communicate something at the peak of intellectual value, something that is both beautiful and functional. Let us take another look, a second look, at ideas not worth spreading. Thank you so much.